Thank you for having me, and thank you for the speakers who have come before me in terms of understanding the various paths in your faiths. Can I, before I start my short discourse, can I ask the various speakers in terms of your faiths? There is a common theme that we have with in all our faiths, and that common theme is that we accept that we are serving, or that we are servants. We also accept that we have a common enemy. So within, for example, Christianity, the common enemy is in the Bible. Is a common enemy. Can anyone share that with us? Common enemy is with devil. And in Sanskrit, in Sikhism or in Hinduism, the common enemy is who? Is who? Anyone from Hinduism here? Faith or Sikhism?
We don't have any
None?
representatives today. So.
Bahith faith? Anyone from Bahith faith? Yes? The common enemy is who?
I don't think we have a common enemy, we have an absence of good.
An absence of good. Okay. So what I'm trying to express here is that in faiths or practices, the common enemy that we all share, or that we all should be aware of, is the devil or evil. That's the common enemy. We all have that as a faith. And we, as human beings, we have something unique within us. And what is unique within us is our hearts. And within our hearts, we have light. And we gravitate to those who have light. But we also have to understand that once we have, in example, a gathering like this, where we are faith holders, we want to serve faith, we want to practice our faith, and we want to be representative of our faiths, and we want our faith to show on our countenance. How does that faith show on our countenance? It's by our practice. It's by who we associate with. It's by who we sit with, who we share our space with, who we share our breath with, who we share our air with. This is how our countenance is then reflected. If we accept that we are servants, and we accept within our practices and our faiths that we also have a common enemy, and that common enemy is either we say the devil, or in Islam we say shaitan, or you say evil, then we need to make steps in order to protect ourselves. And how do we protect ourselves? We protect ourselves by practicing our faith in its true essence. Nowadays, there's conflict. What are the conflicts? Current conflict is climate and the climate change. But the narrative in the climate is for the future. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect with those who hold faith, those who gravitate towards faith, and those who are saying for the future. Why is there a disconnect? The disconnect is because of one word, mankind. There's various explanations of mankind. Within Islam, the word is al-insan. We have a root word that explains us as mankind, or us as human beings. And that is one who forgets. That's one explanation. The other explanation is about being familiar. We have lost that familiarity. This is where we are now. There are various troubles in the world. There is, one could say, a darkness that now is descending. You could also say, because we've lost that familiarity, and because of the forgetfulness, we are now here. And as people of faith, we're wounded, we're troubled, we're worried, we're making prayers and prayers and prayers. But the one thing that we need to accept is that common enemy does not rest. We, as people of faith, cannot practice our faith part-time. evil, the devil, however you want to call it, is full time. It's full time. Can't get away from it. And now we're in crisis. Every single continent on this beautiful earth is now facing crisis. In our own countries, in this country alone, I'm dealing with mental health. 1 in 4 people that have trouble with mental health. It's alarming. It's alarming. And as those of us who hold faith, one of the things that we have to remember and to remind others of the common enemy. Also, we must ask ourselves, why is there such a disconnect with those who hold faith and those who lead us? Why is there such a disconnect? We need to ask those questions. We need to go back to what is our origin. The origin is about serving. That's your origin. Your origin is in a state of servitude. But as people of faith, as those who hold faith, we need to be aware. What's the awareness? The awareness is, as much as we are amongst those who may differ in our faith, if they don't hold what is universal, and universal is it's a very simple language, that's love. If you are not displaying love, you can't connect. We now have leaders who are in different parts of the world and they're not connecting. They're not connecting with their people, and they should be the pinnacle of what we look up to. But nowadays, if you're asking for answers, you're asking for why are we in such a mess or why are we in such a crisis, it's because unfortunately and sadly, those who are leading or those who are influenced or those who are supposed to be directing us, they have left divine teachings. Period. They've left it. And because they've left it, you're seeing this turbulence. And we are in this room, we're educated, we have rational, we have reason. We have to ask ourselves also, how do we navigate and get through this? How do we do that? Yes, we can quote scriptures. Yes, we can quote so many different areas of prophet said this, or messenger said this, our respected teacher says this. But if we, as individuals, if we are not practicing our faith, how do we live with now and how do we live with the future? This is something that we've got to consider. Whatever happens, there's going to be turbulence. You're going to have, for example, currently with the climate, you're going to have all of this uncomfortable conversation. We need to look within ourselves and ask ourselves, as people of faith, how are we practicing? And how do we interact and stay connected? That's what we need to look at. And if there are other avenues for us to look at, or if there's other inspirations for us to look at, all of us came up here today and we lit a candle. One of the beautiful things regarding Islam and other monotheistic faiths is that every person on this earth, they have a value. And every breath of every human being leads to the Lord Almighty, or leads to your faith, or leads to the connection to the Creator. Every human being with every breath, every human being is valued. Only those who practice that innate kindness, only those that practice it. So I'm very pleased to be in a room full of other faith individuals. I'm very pleased that you've allowed me to speak for a short time. And thank you so much. And hopefully the symbol of the candles here will give us hope that no matter what direction we face, we link ourselves to our Creator. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.